Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
What is going on, everybody? I go by RB, and this is Philly Take with RB. If you guys are enjoying the content of the channel, take a second for me. Go ahead and smash that like button. And if you are new and want to stay updated on some great Philly content, well, be sure to hit that subscribe. So today I want to talk about a little bit of Sixers news. So I'm reading earlier on today, and shout out to my main man Justin Grasso on Twitter. He's a Philadelphia Sixers beat writer for Sports Illustrated. I love his content on Twitter. He posted this. So as you can see right here, he posts a picture of Ben Simmons and an article and says, is he going to be 100%? I don't expect that, but I think he's going to be available. Brett Brown told Sports Illustrated this week in regards to Ben Simmons. So I'm just thinking, I'm like, what? Because if you guys remember, right, a couple months back, around the time I think that quarantine started, I put out a video, if you guys remember, with Jackie MacMullan, the ESPN reporter, saying that Ben Simmons' injury had all but dissipated. Remember Ben Simmons' nerve impingement injury in his back? We really don't know when it exactly happened. I still believe it was in the All-Star game. And then when he tried to come out in that Milwaukee game on primetime, he had a couple possessions, and then he was just gone after that. He went back to the locker room. We heard later on that he was vomiting and sick and all this stuff. And it was very, very serious. We didn't even know if Ben Simmons would come back. Now, thankfully, we've had more time for him to rest. As time went on, like I said, Jackie MacMullan said it had all but dissipated, and he would be ready to go if the season resumed. And then I think it was on May 5th when Elton Brand had the press conference, and he said he's very optimistic that Ben Simmons will be ready to rock if and when basketball comes back. Right? Even Brett Brown had a press conference, and I'm pretty sure as well that he talked highly about Ben Simmons and said that he was recovering everything. But anyway, now as you can see from this tweet and everything, I don't know. I really don't know what's going on here, right? Like, anyway, I dove farther in it, and I was reading this. So in Justin's article, he says, before the injury, Simmons was one of, if not the most reliable players on the Sixers when available. Not only was he a force on both sides of the ball, the third-year guard was never known to take much time off. This season, he averaged a career-high minutes per game of 35.8, and it's been very essential. And what have I been saying the last couple of days, guys, about the playoff rotation? Ben Simmons is going to have to play 35 to 40 minutes a game. That is what you need from Ben Simmons. I understand he gets neutralized sometimes on offense because of the inability to shoot. But let's not forget, he has emerged into a pretty much a defensive player of the year candidate. He does so much for your team, and that is why I think he's so valuable. And with that jump shot, he's going to escalate to unbelievable heights. But anyway, like I'm saying, guys, he does so much for your team. And I've been confident this whole time hearing that Ben Simmons, is going to come back and be ready to go and hopefully play 35, 40, maybe even more minutes a game in the playoffs, which is what we need and what we've seen before. But anyway, I dove in even farther, and as you can see, it says, after suffering a significant injury, missing so much time, Simmons might not have had the opportunity to come back and play his average minutes. After having a conversation with Sports Illustrated's NBA insider Chris Mannix, Brett Brown revealed Simmons' minutes are likely to take a hit. So I went and looked at that article. Now, Chris Mannix is a beat reporter for Sports Illustrated. He's a senior writer. He used to write for the NBA. So he has some credibility to his name. But I'm over here thinking, like, given what, even guys like Elton Brand had already said, what is this valid? Is this true? Is he just trying to get some clicks during a rough time? I really don't know, but things are kind of conflicting here. Like, Brett is saying one thing and Elton is saying the other. But anyway, as I go into the article, it's a conversation, and I see where Chris Mannix says this. It was actually an article with a video talking about how the Sixers are actually one of the most inclined teams to come back and make a run to the finals. So he's actually in support of the Sixers. But he says, as you can see right here, great unknowns as well. I think the biggest question, though, is the health status of Ben Simmons. I spoke to Brett Brown, the Sixers coach, just this week. And Brett told me that while he expects Ben Simmons to play, it's going to be a case of being brought along slowly. So Ben Simmons isn't just going to come back and play 30, 35 minutes a night. I think how much he's able to play and the effectiveness to which he's able to play will probably be the biggest factor for the Sixers coming back. Like I'm saying, guys, I really don't know how to feel at this point. Like, do I believe Elton Brand and Jackie MacMullan, or do I now believe Chris Mannix and Brett Brown? It's almost like I'm hearing a whole bunch of different insight now, and it's like we're not as positive, we're not as hopeful about Ben Simmons. I mean, even if he comes back and he plays the first couple games, 20, 25 minutes, I get it, ease him back in, right? But here's what I will say, and this is what I do know. When it comes down to crunch time, when we get down to that 7th, 8th game, if Ben Simmons is still playing 20 minutes a game, it's not going to look good. He must be ready for the playoffs. He must be ready to come in game 1 of series 1 and be ready to play 35 to 40 minutes. If he cannot, if he is not able to, that is going to signal huge issues for the Sixers because, like I said, he does so much for your team. He's going to have to be reliable and consistent every single night, and we need him to be on the court. If we're entering the first playoff series and Ben Simmons still is not 100% healthy, which is apparently what Brett is saying now, and I don't know if he's going to rehab in 8 games, but hopefully this is just a bunch of talk, just a lot of conversation, not much validity to it. That's what I'm hoping for, because I'm hoping Ben Simmons is 100% healthy. That's kind of what I've been predicating some of this Sixers talk on. But you guys let me know down below what you think. Is Ben Simmons healthy? Is he ready to rock for these 8 games and for the playoffs? Let me know all your guys' thoughts down below on this. Appreciate you all for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.
Perfect.